everyone, welcome to another episode of How to Make a Beat in 10 Minutes featuring Sample Focus. Similar to the other episodes we've done thus far, we're just going to take a new genre today, pick it apart a little bit, use the awesome samples, community, searching, and tagging tools that the website here has to offer, and kind of dig into a pretty solid beat in the next 10 minutes or so. So without further ado, let's get started. Today we're going to be looking at drum and bass. And the cool thing about drum and bass is there's a lot of variety to the type of sound you can achieve within the genre. You can get some more aggressive, tear out type stuff that's almost reminiscent of like fast dubstep. You can get reggae influenced stuff, which is coined as jungle or jungle drum and bass. You can get ambient liquid type stuff, techno influenced sound. So there's a lot of different directions that this could go today. But the one thing that all drum and bass has or is built around is a breakbeat, the most iconic of which is an amen break. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to try under breakbeat subtype of drums to see if we can find a nice breakbeat to build our track around. And look at that. Second sample up is the amen break. For those who don't know what this is, I'm sure once I hover over this waveform, you'll instantly recognize this sound, whether it's from a drum and bass song or elsewhere. So let's take a listen real quick. So yeah, as you can see, it's high tempo, 175 BPM, high energy. So we're gonna start with that and build from there. One of the things that I do want to go ahead and show to everyone today is this complementary sounds tab. So we already have gone through the similar sounds. Complementary sounds is really, one of the, as the title states, it's gonna go and using an algorithm of sorts try and find other samples hosted on the website here that will complement, your main sample that you're looking at. So we actually got 4 other drum and bass loops back. Alright, and this might be redundant in, some other genres if you already have your main drum loop picked out, but the cool thing, and the reason I'm going to download all 4 of these loops here about drum and bass is that there tends to be, since it's the drum beats are heavily sampled, there tends to be a lot of layering to give it new and unique sound to a drum loop, such as an amen break that has been played over and over and over again. So we're gonna go ahead and just grab all that so we've got some variety to work with. Next step, naturally, we got the drums checked off the list. We've got to go and find some bass for our drum and bass. And I'm kind of going, the type of drum and bass I've been exposed to is a little grittier. It's generally characterized as jungle. So it's raw, it's analog, it's a little dark. So I'm just going to go right towards analog synth bass because it's going to kind of get me the type of sound that is typical for that style of drum and bass. And I'm going to go ahead and just search drum and bass under the genre. Trust that Sample Focus will guide me in the right direction. Gonna go ahead and just grab a few different samples to work with. I don't know if we'll be able to find any loops at the appropriate, the appropriate style and tempo, but if we can't find loops, we can always kind of just experiment around with a few different types of solo hits. So that should work too. That as well, and then maybe we'll do one more. Like that. Alright, cool. So at this point we've got, the main components of our drum and bass track down. This is going to be the driving part of our beat that we make today. But we're also going to need some, atmosphere, something to pull everything together and give it a little more depth. So I'm just going to jump into pads and atmospheres, and again, just try and find anything that might support a drum and bass track, and kind of see what happens here. Alright, so I don't know if that's necessarily going to mesh with the rest of the sounds we have, but it reminds me of a sample in a song that a drum and bass producer named Goldie produced, so kind of made that connection immediately. So I'd like to at least pull it in and see what happens. That could be a good way to just start the track, lead in. Let's see here, what else? That could be kind of cool as well. So I'm going to pull that in, and let's see. I think for now that should be alright. I'm going to go ahead and just see if there's anything under the lead synthesizers category that we could add as well, just to give a little more action to the track. Could be interesting as well. So I'm gonna pull this in, and then we're just gonna get right to producing here. So we've got everything in the downloads folder here. I'm just gonna drag all this right on over into my sample folder and open up FL Studio and get to it. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pull in. Let's see here if we can find it. So here's the key. DNB. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling in our drum stuff. There we go. So we got Amen break. And there we are. Alright, so as you can see here, gotta get tempo going properly, so we should be good to go there. The only thing I want to do here is there were two of these samples that were at different tempo, and I just want to get them lined up to these two. I want to get them lined up so that when and if we decide to use them in the track, we won't have to worry about that after the fact. So alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to restretch both of these. The same over here. That should be pretty good to go, hopefully. Alright, So this is going to be the starting point of our track. I'm just going to go ahead, get the amen break in, and I'm going to line up all of our different loops here and just kind of see how it sounds as a progression. And then maybe we'll just use this kind of progression of different loops to create the backbone of our track. So let me just highlight this section here for us real quick, and let's play through it. Alright, so I'm thinking that an alternative to that is going to be to use some layers here. There wasn't a whole lot of continuity. Let's see here. Alright, so let's go ahead, use this guy kind of throughout, and then there's a little bit of a tail off at the end of every 4 beats there. So I'm going to take a different one of those other beats and kind of throw that in at the end of each loop here to see if that kind of brings it together while also, you know, keeping things interesting and fresh. So yeah, I like the way that this is heading. Alright, so next steps, go ahead and start adding some bass in. Alright, so I'm going to pull those loops in real quick. We've got 80s bass. And this stuff here, bass stab. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just make a bass, and let's see how long I want this loop to be. Yeah, maybe that should be good. Alright. Alright, so it's, you know, it's sounding decent. I think we probably could have gone and maybe acquired a few better samples that would have fit the track better, but it's alright. It's good enough for now, for the purposes. Might add just a couple more hits in here and there, just to kind of add some variety, so it's not so, I guess, techno-y. And alright, let's give this a shot again. Alright, so it's pretty cool. It's got nice pace to it. It's pretty bare bones at the moment though, so we can always go ahead and grab a few other things. Let's try these different samples that I had in here before. This could be kind of neat to sort of develop throughout the course of our loop here. So I'm going to drag this over and kind of see if it fits the tone of what we're doing. So I think the tempo might be a little bit off on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and just rein it in a touch and we'll try again. Alright, so that sounded quite a bit better now, and the only thing I'm gonna do as well is just drag this and realign it so that it's ending not in the middle of our loop, but at the end, just so it doesn't end up seeming so empty right when we're in the the meat of our beat here. So alright, so that is sounding pretty sweet to me, and just looked down at the clock here and I'm taking a little bit longer than 10 minutes, so in order to keep with the legitimacy of the title of the video, I'm going to wrap this up right quick. I'm just going to add a few things in here to give it some variety and a little bit of intro, if you will, and then I will give it a listen from top to bottom, and we will have made an interesting drum and bass style track in less than 20 minutes. Asterisks there next to the how to make a beat in 10 minutes. But regardless, we got off to a running start. Thanks to sample focus. I mean, it'd be impossible to gather all this type of material. I mean, back in the day when a lot of drum and bass was first being made, it was sampling off of other records, and I can tell you that they couldn't do that and have a track going in 20 minutes. So let me just add this little riser into the beginning here, and then we would take a listen from the top and hope that it sounds alright. So here we go. Alright, let me just get rid of that other sample there. Thought it might sound cool. Unfortunately it didn't. So let's take it from the top again, and I think we could even do without the little drum and bass or the little breakbeats there. So let's once more with the riser, and then time to rave. Alright guys, well, thanks again for tuning in, taking the time to check out a little bit of drum and bass production today. Hopefully you guys are feeling inspired, learned something new about sample focus, and are going to give it a shot next time you're looking to produce some beats. Alright, well, until next time, take it easy guys.